Hey everyone. Um, just wanted to share my Elegoo Neptune 4 profile that I made for Orca Slicer. This is my preferred slicing software. Um, so I'm just going to go through all the settings here. You're welcome to pause and copy my settings. Or when I have time, I'll put a link to a Google Share Drive where you can download the profiles that you can import into your Orca Slicer, and it'll build it out automatically for you. Um, so let's start here at the printer. Um, we have under basic information, make sure you have your print area set 235 by 235, and then your Z height 265, G code flavor, clipper. Under machine G code, this is your start and end G code. Um, this is what I have. You're welcome to put whatever you like to use. And then make sure under your extruder tab, you have your correct nozzle size, set some limits for your layer height, um, and then set your retraction settings and Z-hop settings. This is what my settings are from calibrating. Um, make sure you do your own calibration and plug in your numbers here. Um, and then up next, let's look at the filament. So these are my settings for my Elegoo PLA filament that I use. Um, the important bits here are make sure you set your nozzle and bed temperatures here. From my calibration, 215 is my optimal printing temperatures for the speeds I print it, and then 60C for the bed works just fine. And then your max volumetric speed, again through calibration and a test that I can show where you do your test in Orca Slicer. I came up with 17 millimeters cubed per second flow rate, max flow rate. So you set that here. Then we go to the actual print settings. I use default 0.2 millimeter layer height. Down here we have just some of the basic settings. Um, seam, ironing, um, yeah, nothing crazy here. For strength, I like to use 3 perimeters, 3 walls. Um, 5 top layers, 4 bottom layers. 15% gyro is more or less my go-to. Um, on really big prints, gyro kind of takes a little long, so I might go to like trihexagon. That's another good option. Um, speeds. My default print speeds are 250 millimeters a second. Um, first layer is slowed down to about 50 millimeters a second, and the infill to 105. Once we get past the first layer, then it kicks up the speed to these speeds here. 120 outer, 250 inner, sparse infill, internal solid infill at 250, and then I slow it back down a little bit to 100 millimeters a second for the top surface, so I can get a nice consistent top layer. Support 150. If you see that your supports are getting knocked down or they're coming out a little ugly, you can slow this down even more to probably 100 um, to help it stay upright, right, without knocking it over. Um, travel speeds 350 seems fine for me. These are my acceleration settings. I think they're a little higher than what Cura has, but this seems to work just fine on my printer. So I leave it as is. Um, supports. These are where your support settings are. Um, yeah, nothing crazy here. Under the others, I like to have a skirt. So I put 2 layers down, about 6 millimeters away from my object. Is what I like to do. Brim type here. Sometimes it guesses the brim correctly. Sometimes I don't want brim, I just switch it here. Now you saw me talking about some of the calibrations I did to find some of my values for the printer. You find that up here in the top left. You click on calibration. The three important ones that I recommend everyone does is temperature, to find the temperature for the material you're printing at. Um, Retraction test to help either eliminate or reduce your stringing. This is very important for that. And then to find your max flow rate, here under the More tab, you can click on the max flow rate test um, and just follow the instructions to find the values that work for you. So I think that's about all I wanted to cover. I'll be making more to show some of the features and tips that I have for Orca Slicer. It's a very powerful slicer. I recommend it for everyone. Um, yeah, any questions, just let me know and I'll try and answer all of them. Thank you guys.